Another item on your performance is the fact that specific areas of your business contributed considerably to your profitability, and I saw that increase was quite substantial in the past year. What's happening on the fee part? What's driving the increase on that front?
Well, the fees, maybe I'll put the broader picture. The good news is that we have a significant amount of clients. Of course, we would like to have, as I said, 1 million clients more. But maybe in the end, the major opportunity for BPI continues to be cross-sell. Okay, the average number of clients, the other average number of products per client is only in the area of about 1.5 times. Our internal goals are 2 products for a regular customer, 4 products for a preferred customer, and 6 products for a super special customer.
From what we see today, some of that is driven by the product sets that you have. So
Yes.
internally, there's a kind of a disintermediation of customers from one product set to another, would you say?
Well, actually, we've been coordinating more. Number one, we've been bundling more, so you save on the selling costs and you get two groups to work together. And then, for example, we have had a very major increase in our asset management side. But we spoke to our deposit people and said, look, you're doing the bank a favor or a good thing if you allow your high-costing funds to graduate to the asset management side. That way you save money on the cost side and you earn a fee on the asset management. So in many ways, we're a bank that's able to work together in a positive manner.
But in terms of that kind of evolution, how long do you think that's going to play out, that you'll be able to generate more fee as a result of moving customers from one product set to another? And what do you think the game plan should be medium term, given that this is more short term?
Well, again, I think that history will show, and directionally we go about 2/3, 1/3, between the net interest income. In the final analysis, we're still a balance sheet bank, and that will always be a major area to counter potential margin pressure from the high end. What we're doing is we're going SME, consumer, etc. On the fee side, I think to a certain extent we're developing businesses like the foreign exchange business and things like that.
Let's talk a little bit about your product sets. There seemed to be a focus on building the remittance business even further, or maybe taking that deeper.
Yes.
I've heard talk about wealth management as a customer pool. So I need to get a sense from you what wealth management means in the Philippines. But there's also this whole initiative in the microfinance space. It appears that you're going very big into microfinance, which makes you an elephant in the room relative to all the small saving banks that dominate that space. Give us a sense of each of these product sets, and if there are other product sets that you're paying attention to.
Yes,
today.
remittances, we've worked hard to become the leader for the past 3-4 years. But what we're doing now is we're moving from just a remittance product to depositors, and that's beginning to move well. There's a new bill called it's called PERA in the Philippines, but effectively it's a retirement fund for overseas Filipinos. No? So the game there really is that the 8 million Filipinos abroad are really the Filipino middle class, and that we are fairly well entrenched. So that's that side. The second one, you've spoken about it, the asset management side. What has happened in the country is that whereas before there were no savers and no investors, and now they're getting some savers and people beginning to realize the value of investing and looking more for the right products there. And there, we're very well positioned with our asset management side. The new area is microfinance. When I look at the country, we still know that only 20% of the people bank with the formal banks. So there's 80% out there. It's a big market. It's a market for everyone, actually. But that's an area that we feel it's our job to make banking more accessible, more convenient, cheaper, etc.
But when a commercial bank plays in the microfinance space, you don't benefit from the community approach of traditional microfinance players, and yet your interest revenue from the customer per month is like 3% a month, which sort of in a commercial banking context, it's more high risk, customers or high risk
Yes,
consumers.
I think the way to look at the microfinance business is the way we looked at remittances 10 years ago. It's a large market we want to enter. We're going to enter in a way that will enable us to learn from the business. Right now, it's a new area. We're using also the lab of what we learned from our BPI Direct, the internet bank, on how to handle this area. I think the community lending will continue to happen. We're hoping that we get the technology from our partner, Globe, and we'll see. No?
What is the reason for divesting the insurance part of your business, or was it really a divestment?
Well, I think, again, the broader picture. We're after customers. The first set of customers came in, or new customers, if you will. We opened BPI Europe, a bank in the UK 2 years ago. The attraction there is everybody in Europe and actually in the Middle East. So we're after the customer base. Then the next area is the Globe, BPI Globe Microfinance. Okay, and again there, if you look at all of the clients of Globe, that's another major customer base. And the third one, obviously, is the insurance. We had an insurance company, life insurance company, which was number 6 or 7, I think. We had an opportunity to team up with number 1 to sell bank assurance.
Right. So it's a teaming up,
yes,
as opposed to a divestiture.
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. We are after quality.
But the divestment actually showed up on your books as being a good contributor to profitability in 2009. So
yes,
was that intentional or?
No, we're looking at the big picture. I think effectively when we look at it, with half the share in the bank, naturally after the first year, which is always difficult, we expect to make as much income or even more. That's the way our numbers are running.
But that also denies your shareholders from benefiting from that business on the upside.
Well, that's all relative because from our point of view, we're starting from zero. So we're going into a business again where the view is that by teaming up, for example, no matter what we say, we only have 700 branches. But if you look at a group like Globe, they have thousands, 10,000, 15,000 Globe retailers, and it allows us and them to use that presence to push that sector. Also, whereas we would be in the major provincial cities, they can enter the countryside a little bit more. So evaluating everything together, it was our view that going in together would be very helpful.
What's the Philippine story to foreign investors today, and what's the BPI story to foreign investors today, especially this being an election year? Do you see yourself as being an attractive investable asset?
Yes, well, for the Philippines, as I said, the growth rate last year was only 1%. We will go back to our traditional, shall we say, 4 to 5%, depending on what happens. Inflation will probably also go in that direction. So for the country as a whole, that's positive. Naturally, we would like to get back to the 2007 7%, but I think first things first. Okay. On the BPI story, we just launched our sustainability report, no? And as we say, we've been sustainable for the past 158 years. I think in a sense, as we say, it's a quality name. What we do is that we have consistently delivered from a dividend yield point of view, and also over time from a growth point of view with regards to stock price.